You just started your spiritual journey. Now what? I talk to so many different people every single day who are going through the same thing. They seem like they just had this pivotal, life-changing moment that helped them to see the world in a whole new light. And now they're wondering, what books do I read? What podcasts do I listen to? What do I do now? What's the first step? How do I figure out where to go? There's like a whole new world in front of me and I don't know which way to turn. I get it, because I have been there and I am working on it still. And I'm here to help you guys navigate this process to beat that overwhelm and to help you feel empowered to make the steps that are right for you. So where do we start? I think it's really important to talk about this archetypal energy that you most likely just went through to get to this point. So in tarot, in the major arcana, we follow the Fool throughout his entire evolution. And you most likely just came from a rock bottom moment. I feel like that's the case for a lot of people when it comes to starting a spiritual journey. It's like they hit a rock bottom, they hit a wall that they just cannot get around. And it's like the only option left is to just throw your hands up in the air and say, I surrender, like I don't know what else to do, but I'm going to give it up to something greater. And I believe that there's something greater out there than just me, because I cannot keep believing that it's just me and that this isn't happening for a greater reason. And that is exactly the Tower card in tarot. I see this time and time again, everybody hitting this rock bottom before they're all of a sudden like, I need a change. I'm surrendering to something greater. I need to have some sort of spirituality in my life. And people who join my Facebook group, I see that they're at that phase and they're at the beginning of their spiritual evolution because they're coming from this rock bottom moment. Even for myself, I had a rock bottom moment as well before I launched into a full spiritual awakening. So this is the Fool, right? This is the card that represents us as we grow through our spiritual evolution. I'm going to show you a card that most people are afraid of, and that is the Devil card. The reason this card is so important to the Fool's journey is because the Devil card represents the things that we don't like about ourselves. This is like the shadow work that needs to be overcome. This card talks about the addictions that we have, not just like physical addictions to things, but like mental addictions, like addictions to feeling low and anxious and depressed, or feeling bad about ourselves, or like allowing these negative thoughts to have chains on us. It is the energy that holds us back from what we really want in life. What happens after the Devil card is the Tower. Now, the Tower, I have mentioned this before and people think I'm crazy for it. The Tower is one of my favorite cards. It doesn't look like it would be. I don't know if you can really see it. It doesn't look like anything that anybody would really want to experience, but everybody goes through their Tower moments. The Tower represents the crumbling of what is no longer working. So it is all of this mental destruction, all of this hatred for yourself, all of this negativity, jealousy, envy, all of these emotions that are not serving us, and it comes crashing down. But I love this card because at the bottom we have a dove, and at the top of it we have the all-seeing eye. It can represent God, divine love, source, the universe, whatever word you want to call it. And the lightning bolt is like the straw that breaks the camel's back. It sends this card crumbling. It sends you and all the things that no longer are working for you crumbling down. Your walls, everything that's been holding you together has just crumbled to the ground. And you're falling, you're on fire. Like, it's literally a terrifying card, but you know what comes after it? The Star. The Star is arguably the most magical card in the Fool's journey. It is the one of divine love and hope and divine connection. This card is where the new seeds are planted and the entire world is at your fingertips. You have the 8-pointed star right above your crown chakra. I know you can't really see that well because of my light, but you are pouring water into the material world, onto the ground, and you're also pouring water into the cosmic consciousness, into the cosmos, and you're remembering that you are a piece of the cosmos. You're stripped completely naked, but you have all of this divine energy, all of this divine assistance surrounding you, and you are completely aware of it. So in order to get from this to this, everything needs to crumble. So that is basically the story of a lot of our experiences when it comes to a spiritual awakening. For me, you know, I went through the darkest time of my life before I was like, okay, I cannot live like this. And a lot of people who struggle with addiction, they end up finding like Christianity, or they find religion or something. You need something to get yourself through those times. So I would love to hear if that has been your experience so far, if you've hit a rock bottom and that's what led you to your spiritual awakening, or if it was something completely different. I would love to know. But I had to say that because that is the start of most people's spiritual awakenings and spiritual evolution. So in order to tell you what you should do and where to start when it comes to your spiritual path, I wanted to tailor it more to that experience, because I believe a lot of people are coming from that and are now like, okay, what do I do now? So if that is you, I strongly encourage you to find some sort of support, whether that be going to talk to a therapist or hiring a spiritual life coach, or you can even join my Facebook community. It is filled with like the most loving, beautiful, compassionate souls who are all on their spiritual journeys as well, who would love to help you through yours if you're looking for some sort of support or friendships with people who are going through the same things. Definitely join that. I'll leave a link in the description box so we can fully support you on your path. I wanted to offer some books for you guys to read if you're coming from this pivotal, life-changing moment and you're just looking for some books to help you along the way. This book is one that I have not read yet, but I am looking forward to it. But I want to recommend it in case you are somebody who's kind of on a deconstruction path, who has been very heavily influenced by Christianity. This book talks about the universal Christ, obviously. It is about how Jesus and Christ are not really the same thing. They are the same thing, but Christ is not Jesus's last name. It's about who is Christ and who is he when it comes to the archetypal energy, this cosmic consciousness that we can tap into. I personally do have a connection with Christ consciousness, and if you are somebody who is still very much tied to Christian ideology, this might be a really great eye-opening book for you. I have skimmed it. Like I said, I haven't read it yet. So this book was written by Richard Rohr, and I just wanted to read a little bit about the back, just so, because I haven't read it, I want to give you an idea of what it is in case you feel like it might be a good fit for you. It says, drawing on scripture, history, and spiritual practice, Rohr articulates a transformative view of Jesus Christ as a portrait of God's constant unfolding work in the world. He writes, and Jesus' life was meant to declare that humanity has never been separate from God except by its own negative choice. When we recover this fundamental truth, faith becomes less about proving Jesus was God and more about learning to recognize the Creator's presence all around us and in everyone we meet. So if this sounds like something you are interested, I'm going to leave some of these links in the description box so you can just easily snag them up. Now, for me, the most life-changing book was Personal Power by Awareness by Sanaya Roman. If you are somebody who struggles with self-loathing or horrible thoughts about yourself, and you're a really sensitive person, this is great for people who identify as empaths or highly sensitive people. It is an incredible book. It teaches you how to tap into your energy, how to affect others positively with your energy, how to protect your energy. It also helps you to tap into your clairs, so your psychic senses. Basically, every page in this book is highlighted to the max. Every time I read it, I find something even more beautiful about it. You can open it up to any page and find some incredible wisdom, like I'll do that right now. If you find people talking about you in a way that doesn't match your higher vision, or thinking about you in a way that's not honoring you, rather than being open to receiving their messages, begin broadcasting your own pictures back to them. If you want to see them as your strong and powerful self, send an image to them of yourself as strong and powerful. It's like it tells you how to tap into these frequencies that other people are tapping into as well, and like almost like telepathic communication. It's all about energy, and it helped me so much transform the way I think about myself, transform the way I live my life. This book, I would say, saved my life, truly. So I have become addicted to her books. I'm going to recommend another one. Like I said, a lot of you guys probably just hit your rock bottom moment in life, or, you know, one of them. I'm sure a lot of you have had many, as have I. Living with Joy by Sanaya Roman, same author. This book is similar to this one, but it talks all about personal power, spiritual transformation. It is an incredible book to help you start seeing the world from a new perspective, and that I think is what a lot of us when we first start our spiritual journey are looking for and are trying to do, but we're not exactly sure where to start. Start here. Start with her books. I am literally like her biggest fan. I can't find her on Instagram, but I want to like send her a message and be like, I love you so much. She has changed my life. So this book really helps open you up to self-love, to receive and experience more self-confidence and self-esteem, to live your higher purpose, to take a quantum leap into any area of your life, change negatives into positives, gain clarity in your relationships, increase your sense of aliveness and well-being. This book is it. These books are a channel from, I believe it's her higher self, Oren, and love that guy. He killed it. He did a great job. Oh, I completely forgot. This book not only taught me about self-love and energy, it also taught me so much about forgiveness. I am somebody who struggles a lot with forgiveness with people that have hurt my family. I'm very protective of my family, so it was very hard. But like if you're wanting to do some hard work and just release things that are having a hold over you, personal power through awareness. It's all about personal power. I don't want to spend too long on books, so let me know if you want a whole video about books, because I could talk for probably 20 hours about this. So I'm just gonna share, which one do I want to share? Okay, I'll share these because these are fun books. So if you're into past lives, Many Lives, Many Masters by Brian L. Weiss. This book has been very loved. This changed my entire perspective about life. I never really thought too much about past lives until I read this. This was probably 2014 that I read this, so very early in my spiritual evolution. This is about a psychiatrist or psychologist, I can't remember, who was working with a woman who had agoraphobia. She was afraid of like literally everything. So he went to hypnotize her and ended up taking her to past lives. And she had so many past lives and so much trauma from these past lives. And the whole book is her sharing her experiences through these past lives, how working through them really helped her get over her anxiety and agoraphobia. And her past lives were pretty wild. So this book was amazing as well. That's a good like dipping your toes in, and if your feet are like fully submerged and you want some exciting cosmic alien type of content, The 3 Waves of Volunteers and The New Earth by Dolores Cannon. I've been loving Dolores Cannon's books. This book actually, it doesn't look like it because, you know, it's not like the prettiest cover, but it talks about how Earth is going through a major shift right now. And if you read it, it will give you so much insight and make you feel so empowered about the way that the world is going to go. It feels horrible day to day, right? I saw in my Facebook group some poor soul was just so stressed about an election that was going on, and I feel that, you know, times are hard and it's scary as we see things that are getting worse and worse and worse. This will give you so much comfort knowing that a new earth is coming. And it also tells you why you're here. If you're watching this video right now, you are a part of the 3 Waves of Volunteers, okay? We all are. If you are watching this and you hear it and you resonate with it, you are a volunteer, and we have a big mission to do here. We have a lot of things to work through when it comes to this planet and things that are going on right now. So yeah, I encourage people to read this book. Have an open mind, and if you have an open mind, you might end up down a rabbit hole of all of her books. I actually want to recommend one more book. I know this is probably like the entire video, but this book is called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. If you're more into like science and the more masculine dominated side of things, where it's like quantum physics and like you need a little bit more logic and reason to things, this is your book. It will help you overcome the devil card. It will help you overcome all of those different things that are holding you back, all the habits that are holding you back from living the life that you want. Highly, highly recommend this book. So the next thing I want to recommend to you is to connect with your spirit guides. This is something that will make you feel less alone. I know that we have our community here, but connecting with your spirit guides, connecting with your higher self, that is where you're gonna feel literally supported at all times. You're gonna feel like you have this rock, this system, like people cheering for you all around you all day, every day, like hugging you, supporting you, making you feel safe and loved. Like when I get scared about the world, like everything that's happening, and I'm just like, why is this happening? Why is like the world falling apart? I just remember like I am so supported. I am so loved, so guided. I am never ever alone. And even though it feels like we're alone, we're never alone. So connect with your spirit guides. Very soon, I'm coming out with a guided meditation little program thing for you on my website. You can click the link in the description box if you want to sign up for the announcement of when that will come. It'll be coming out probably in October, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to walk you through how to connect with your spirit guides, how to open your third eye, and how to access the Akashic records in this bundle of meditations. So I've been working hard on it, so I know it will help you out. So if you're watching this in the future after this is uploaded, you can probably click the pinned comment and it will be there. To tap into your spirit guides, all you have to do is let them know that you're ready. You know, they're not going to show themselves to you physically because you most likely will be scared. And if you want to hear more about how they're going to communicate with you, you can watch this video here, all about signs, synchronicities. But they just want to have permission from you because they never, ever, ever want to scare you. So if you tell them like, I'm ready to connect with you, you can either do a meditation and envision yourself meeting them, communicating with them, or you can ask them to show themselves to you in a dream. Like you're open, just be open to receiving and they will show themselves to you. My next tip is to balance your energy centers. This can be done through a meditation. It can be done through a chakra healing session. You can do it yourself. Also, Dr. Joe Dispenza has a guided meditation where I can link it down below if you're interested, where you're balancing your energy centers. And I've done the first two of his. There are like 4 or 5 different ones. I think his meditations on those are called Balancing the Energy Centers. And in the second one, you envision the centers swirling and you're kind of like correcting them to swirl in the correct way. And once all of them, for me, were spinning in the correct way, my entire body filled with chills and I felt like I left my body. It was so magical and so eye-opening. He takes you into your crown chakra and you're watching yourself from your crown chakra. And in that moment, I was crying. I was like, I am not my human body. We are not defined by these little things of flesh. We are so much more than that. If you want to learn more about chakras, Wheels of Light is another really good book. It helps you to understand what all of them are about and what they affect and how to rebalance them. But I think the easiest way to do it would probably be to just do a meditation. You can find some online, on YouTube even. Again, I'll link as much as I can find in the description box for you so that you will be all set to go. Then we have shadow work. Shadow work really helps you to break the chains of this card. So for example, a lot of the times we are held back by things that happened in our past. Things like if we are a jealous person, there's nothing really worse than feeling jealousy, right? So if you're a jealous person, you can go within, do a quick little meditation, go within and find the belief that is causing that emotion. So what you can do is ask yourself where you feel jealousy in your body. It might be in like the pit of your stomach, right? So then you start to ask yourself, what color is this belief? What texture is this belief? And you try to give it some material form. And you take your consciousness and you go within it. And you keep asking questions. Why do I feel jealous? When was the first time I felt jealous? What was the cause of that? What did that make me feel? Who caused me to feel this way? And you break it down until you get to the core belief. the belief could be, I'm not worthy. So what you're going to do is bring yourself back to a memory where you felt this emotion, the first time you felt unworthy. And you, as yourself, you're going to tap into your higher self, your higher wisdom. You are going to see your little self feeling this way, and you're going to provide them comfort, the comfort that they need in that moment. You're going to give them love, you're going to give them support and give them a hug and just be like, I am here for you. No one can make you feel unworthy because I am supporting you. Doing shadow work is so powerful. It like alchemizes the emotions. If you've ever done EMDR therapy, this is literally shadow work as well. Life-changing, love EMDR. If you have access to do that, I do highly recommend that as well. I'm also coming out with a shadow work workbook pretty soon, so I've been working on that really hard. I've been working on so many things behind the scenes for you guys so that you can really thrive on your spiritual evolution, and I just want to be here to support you. So stay tuned for that. That will be coming out in a few months, I'm sure. It's taking some time. The next thing is to follow your curiosities. You know, you might be so drawn to a certain thing, like maybe you're really drawn to just New Age spirituality, or you're drawn to paganism or Wicca or some form of witchcraft, or maybe you're drawn to Christianity or even Buddhism. I was so drawn to Buddhism as well, maybe Hinduism or Islam, or just follow whatever you are called to, whatever is drawing you in, whatever curiosity you have, just follow that and maybe read some books about it, because there's probably some nuggets of information that you are craving to know. You can start to read different philosophy books. Like if you're interested in Buddhism, I have Buddhist Philosophy Essential Readings, and I also have In the Buddha's Words, an anthology of discourses from the Pali Canon. These are really good ones if you're interested in Buddhism. Just follow whatever is drawing you to it. Maybe you're really drawn to herbalism or herbology, or you're drawn to crystals and crystal healing or Reiki. Like, what is it that you're drawn to? You can start to take some courses. You might be really drawn to things like astrology or human design, or myself, like the gene keys. You know, there's so much to discover, but just remember that you have your whole life ahead of you. You don't have to learn everything in 1 year. You can take your time and really develop knowledge around one certain thing. And once you have that, you can start to incorporate other things into your experience. Maybe you're super drawn to tarot, so you take a tarot course. There's just so many different things that you can play with, but just take it one step at a time. Don't rush. I think that's a mistake a lot of us make because we're so excited. It's like, I want to take a yoga teacher training class, and I want to learn astrology, and I also want to learn tarot, and I want to do all these things all at once, and you'll become burnt out. And I think it's important to just take your time. Remember, you have your whole life ahead of you, because this is not something that is gonna stop. Once you step on the train, it never ends. You're just gonna keep going, and it's gonna be a wild ride. On that topic, I also wanted to mention that we as humans are designed now by the powers that be to become massive consumers. So my biggest tip for you is to not spend all your money on crystals and tarot cards and herbs and, you know, whatever you want to. Of course, you can spend your money on it, but just be aware of the programming that we have. You don't need to bring this consumerism programming into something that is so personal and so sacred to you. You know, we don't want that. I don't want to say that negativity, but we don't want that programming to infiltrate something so sacred to us. So just be aware of why you're buying something. The most important thing I want to share with you in this video is that everything is energy. Now you can interpret that however you want to, but what are you allowing to affect your energy? You have to put up energetic boundaries with things and people, what you're watching on TV. For instance, 2020 was a horrific year for me mentally, as it was with probably a lot of you guys, watching the news every single day. all day long. It never ended. And what happened? The divide and conquer mission that was set out worked, because there was so much division amongst my friends and my family. Everyone was angry, everyone had fear. And I'm not saying everyone in my family, but I'm saying everyone had this within them. So personally, when I moved into my own apartment, I did not get cable. I do not watch the news. I do not watch that at all. I get little notifications on my phone when something important happens, and with that, that's all I need to know. I don't need to know every single detail about every horrible thing that's happening in the world. And I especially don't need to watch it on repeat all day long with the news cycle. So what boundaries are you setting for your energetic health? You can create boundaries with people who constantly are bringing you down. You know, stand up for yourselves, respect your energy, and don't allow people to affect you in a negative way anymore. This book, baby, this book will change your life, I promise you. And my last tip for starting your spiritual awakening journey, this video is so long, but it is to start a practice of some sort. That can be a meditation practice, a yoga practice. It can be a morning routine. I'll link a video right here to my spiritual morning routine. I do meditation, I'll do yoga sometimes, I'll do some sort of workout, take a cold shower. I'll sit down at my altar space right here. I'll pull a card. I'll do some mantras, like all about setting the intention for your day and showing up to your devotional practice. So whatever your practice looks like, whatever it will evolve into, take time every single day to show up for that, and you are going to see a massive shift in your life. So I am so glad you stuck around to the end of this video, and I hope that you guys are going to be thriving on your spiritual journey. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments down below. You can join my Facebook group, and everyone in the group and myself would love to support you on your path. And another surprise for those of you who made it to the end, I'm going to pull another card for you. I'm gonna try and do this sneaky little Gabe at the end of every video from now on, because not everybody watches to the end of my videos, and this one's very long, so I don't blame them. If you are watching to the end of this video, you have a message. So I'm gonna pull one. Here we go. Here is your postcard from Spirit. Dear, dear you, it might be hard to believe you'll ever get to where you want to go, feel the way you want to feel, and find peace and security, but you can. There's lots to celebrate in this life, but first you need to let go of this attachment to achieving certain results. It's easy to get caught in the endless loop of wanting this or that so you can feel safe. The only way out is to surrender the attachment. Empty yourself so you can be filled with something new. The compulsion will be lifted and peace will come. Trust that something better waits, that something new will open up and you will see new opportunities for fulfillment. The truth is, whenever you get into a loop, what you are really looking for is spirit. That connection is where the power, the peace, and the purpose lies. Everything else follows after that. Give yourself a hug. We've got you. Loving you so, so much. I love that, and it actually reminded me a little bit of what we were talking about earlier. This series, beautiful message. Let me know if it resonates down below, aside from the topic that, you know, I just tied it to. If it aligns, let me know. And subscribe if you're new here. I would love to have you join the Aurora Codes community, and I will see you very soon with another video. Bye!